My HOA tried to fine me for a dead lawn, so I proved the real cause was their own broken sprinkler. Lanand made them pay to fix every affected yard. I noticed the first brown patch on my lawn early one morning while grabbing the mail. It was small, barely the size of a dinner plate, but enough to bother me. I take pride in keeping my yard clean and simple, so when the patch doubled in size 3 days later, I knew something was wrong. Before I could even investigate, a letter appeared in my mailbox. A violation notice from the HOA demanding I restore the lawn to community standards within 7 days or face escalating fines. No warning, no questions, just an assumption that I was neglecting my property. I stood there in my driveway holding that letter, feeling a mix of irritation and disbelief. I wasn't someone who ignored problems. I just didn't appreciate being blamed for something I hadn't even had the chance to diagnose. So I dug into it literally. I checked the irrigation timer first. Everything was running. Then, I checked the water pressure. I finally followed the sprinkler heads along the edge of my property, crouching down and brushing aside the grass. That's when I heard it, a faint hiss coming from beneath the boundary line. Water was seeping up through the soil, running under my foundation of turf, starving the rest of the lawn. The broken pipe wasn't mine. It was part of the HOA's shared irrigation line. I took photos, videos, and even recorded the sound of the leak. I emailed everything to the board, politely explaining the issue and asking for a repair. No response. 2 days later, they sent a second notice accusing me of willful neglect. That was the moment I felt something shift inside me. Not anger, just a calm certainty that I wasn't going to let this slide. I contacted a licensed irrigation inspector, paid out of pocket, and had him generate a written report confirming the pipe failure was on HOA property. The report stated that the damage to my lawn was a direct result of that failure. I sent the report to the board, along with a request for reimbursement. So I printed everything: photos, timestamps, emails. The reportant brought it to the next HOA meeting. I waited until the end, during the homeowner comments portion, and spoke slowly and clearly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse anyone of anything. I just laid out the facts, step by step, neighbors murmured. A few even nodded along. They'd had brown patches too. Then one man from the board tried to brush it off as normal wear and tear. But the inspector who wrote my report had come to the meeting at my request. He stood up, introduced himself, and explained in simple terms how the shared line had been leaking for months and that several lawns were showing the same pattern. The room went quiet. Within minutes, the board voted to withdraw both notices, reimburse my inspection costs, and repair not only my lawn but every affected yard on the street. They also scheduled a full inspection of the entire irrigation network. Walking home that night, I glanced at my lawn. The brown patches were still there, but for the first time I knew I wasn't fighting alone, and they haven't sent me a single lawn-related notice since.